What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with some pretty exciting Season of Opulence stuff to take a look at. And on top of this, we'll also talk briefly about some upcoming reveals for content in Destiny 2, but in this video we're going to take a look at new exotics this season, some of the weapons, the armor, and some new exotic catalysts and how you can track them in game. On top of this, we do have new gear from the Menagerie that we're going to take a look at, as well as some of the buffs that you can use to get runes from Menagerie, the upgrades for the Chalice of Opulence, and a bunch of other stuff in this video, guys. So if you enjoy it, a rating below really helps me out, but now let's get into it. So firstly, let's touch on some of the new exotics that we can see in this season. We've known that Truth is going to return this season, and now we can get a look at it inside of the database. So here it is, the quest is kicking off for it next week on the 11th of June. We can't currently preview any of these in the game, so it still comes with prototype Trueseeker. This weapon's rockets have tracking, lock onto targets when aiming down sights. And then it still also has grenades and horseshoes where projectiles will detonate when they are within close proximity of their targets. So that's pretty cool, and we can see that there is a new ornament for it right there, Stolen Goods, but the weapon otherwise looks pretty much like it did in D1. There is a new exotic that we can see right here, and this is the Tarrabah, or Tarrabah, I'm not sure exactly how you say that, but it comes with the perk Ravenous Beast. This weapon stores power when dealing or receiving damage. Once full, hold to reload to unleash the beast. And it also comes with Bottomless Appetite. Dealing continuous damage extends the duration of the Ravenous Beast perk. And it is a 750 RPM SMG right there. We can also get a better look at what it actually looks like in game with this pretty cool kind of hive theme, but this is the raid exotic for the Crown of Sorrows raid. As far as I know, it'll be a random drop unless it turns out to be a quest or something like that. It does appear that there will be an ornament available for this one as well. And then on top of that, we know about the weapon that we get from the Lumina quest. There's currently nothing we can see in the database for it, but this exotic catalyst icon does give us a tease to another exotic. So it's actually Bad Juju, which is pretty interesting. This stuff is classified, so probably it's going to be a quest weapon. We can't see the weapon itself at the moment, but that very much looks like the Bad Juju on the icon right there. So yeah, I'll keep you posted on any further details that are known about it. And obviously we'll have to see how Bad Juju performs in D2. I think it could be a pretty monstrous weapon. We'll wait to see what the perks look like. But then for updated armor pieces that have returned, we've got the Peregrine Greaves right here. These are for the Titan. With Peregrine Strike, all shoulder charge abilities, including Seismic Strike, Hammer Strike, or Shield Bash, will deal bonus damage when activated in the air. So that's pretty interesting. It applies to all of the kind of shoulder charge abilities in the game. Could be pretty fun in PvP like it was back in the day. And of course, it will probably have some pretty awesome PvE utility as well. Khepri Sting comes with Touch of Venom. Punching someone with full melee energy will instantly cast Smoke Bomb, and you'll gain True Sight while in your own Smoke Bomb effect. So that's pretty awesome. Little bit of a mix-up from the original bonus in D1, and once again we can see the visual for the Khepri Sting right here. The final returning exotic armor piece that we can see for now is the Astrocyte Verse for the Warlock, and it still has Move to Survive, Blink Further, and more frequently. On top of this, weapon readies quickly, out of blink, and radar remains up. So actually that's a pretty interesting twist on the original version, granting the radar permanently. Whenever you're using blink with Astrocyte Verse, this could be pretty popular potentially. So those are new exotics and returning exotics. Of course we know about Bad Juju via the Catalyst, but if you check in game, in the Triumphs tab, under Account, we now have exotic catalysts. And we do have one showing up right here for Izanagi's Burden. So the description reads, found by having a fully upgraded Chalice in the Menagerie Heroic Activity. And of course Menagerie is available right now in the normal mode, but we'll also be getting the heroic mode in a couple of weeks' time. So we'll have to wait for that in order to actually get the upgrade. And according to the database, while we can't see the individual perks at the moment, it does say that you need to defeat 500 enemies using Izanagi's Burden to unlock the upgrade. So bear that in mind as well. But then we do have some weapons which are going to come from the Menagerie, and this includes a bunch of legendaries. So the Throne Cleaver is the returning Titan exclusive sword, and it's still going to be Titan exclusive according to the database. This is a weapon that will drop inside of Menagerie, so that'll be via the Chalice of Opulence. But it's aggressive frame, powerful heavy swings, and you use to launch a slam attack, and it also has Whirlwind Blade. Consecutive rapid sword strikes increase this weapon's damage output. The Gold Tusk is the updated Hunter Sword, and it's a lightweight frame sword that also comes with Whirlwind's Blade right there. We always really liked the visuals on these, but we also have Death's Razor, and this is the Warlock equivalent, once again with Whirlwind Blade, but this time an adaptive frame sword. So that's going to be pretty cool. But on top of this, there are the new and other updated weapons. So we have the Imperial Decree. This is a new aggressive frame shotgun. We can see the visual for it right there. Very similar to something like Matador from back in D1, but with the kind of new skin on it and things like that. Apparently it does have a curated roll that includes accurized rounds, as well as barrel shroud in the ballistics, and then it's got grave robber and trench barrel, but it's capable of rolling out with a whole bunch of different bonuses. There is the Epicurean. I think that's how you say that. I always feel like I butcher names with Destiny weapons. But it's a precision frame fusion rifle, comes with backup plan on the curated roll, as well as hammer-forged rifling, accelerated coils, and tap the trigger, and we can see the visual there, very much like an updated 77 Wizard from D1. Once again, these appear to have full random rolls, and according to the database, that would include Drang, or Drang Baroque, which is the version that comes from Menagerie, still with Together Forever. This weapon has a well-rounded adaptive grip, reliable and sturdy, and kills with the weapon will reload Sturm and overflow a bonus damage round to it. It also has Rampage, and again, apparently there are some random perks that you can get for this, and that includes Full Auto, Moving Target, Opening Shot, Underdog, which has returned from D1, which is pretty cool, Zen Moment, Rampage, and a bunch of others. There is the beloved Sniper, and of course, with all of these coming from Menagerie, I'll have to keep you posted on the specific rune combinations for these weapons. Bungie did drop a tease for this one in a recent TWAB, but it's an adaptive frame sniper. Curated comes with chambered compensator, accurized rounds, no distractions, which is a legendary trait where aiming the weapon for a short period reduces flinch, so that's certainly pretty cool, and it also has box breathing. The Callus Mini Tool is the updated Mida Mini Tool, still with Mida Synergy, so it'll pair with the Mida Multi-Tool, and featuring Underdog in a curated role. So that's pretty cool, but there is the Fixed Odds Machine Gun, which I guess is very similar to the Against All Odds from D1. It's a high-impact frame machine gun, so that's 360 rounds per minute, and apparently hammer-forged rifling, armor-piercing rounds, Feeding Frenzy, and Rampage is going to be a curated role for this. And man, I've just realized, but I've kept you waiting for the Ostringer, which is the hand cannon. Once again, I might be butchering that name, but it is an adaptive frame, so that's 140 RPM. Supposedly, the curated role has corkscrew rifling, as well as tactical mag, outlaw, and rangefinder. There are random rolls that you can get. So on the subject of those weapons, I will have to keep you posted once we start and get an idea exactly how they can be acquired from Menagerie. But here for some other items for the DLC, one of the buffs to get loot from Menagerie will be the Runefinder, an effect that increases the chances of finding Chalice runes in strikes, crucible matches, and gambit matches. Allied Guardians who also activate this buff will increase everyone's odds of earning additional runes, so that's pretty cool. But we also have Wealth of the Emperor, which significantly increases the chance of earning Imperials from strikes, gambit, and the crucible, and the effect does last until Imperials are earned. And Imperials, of course, as opposed to runes, are the currency that you actually use to upgrade the Chalice itself. And as I mentioned, I'll be doing my best to kind of figure that out and get some content out about that later on. But for some of the Chalice upgrades that you can get, there is Perfected. Loot sources that ordinarily drop Imperials will now drop runes. So these are some of the kind of upgrades and improvements for it. Power and Efficiency 1, which grants an additional weekly powerful reward from the final chest in the Menagerie and unlocks chests found on the Imperial barge on Nessus. Then there is Power and Efficiency 2 and 3, and you can see that the effects kind of improve there. So weekly powerful rewards from the final chest in the Menagerie will now drop a Season of Opulence mod. But then there is the Rune bonus, which grants an additional rune from Werner 9940's bounties and Rune Finder consumables. So that also confirms that Werner is going to definitely play a more significant role as a vendor in this DLC. And you can also get Rune bonus 2 and 3, the third version of the perk ultimately granting a chance to gain an additional non-powerful reward from the final chest in the Menagerie during Season of Opulence. Then there is the Rune Compatibility bonus, which ultimately grants the ability to obtain and slot blue runes, which can be used to guarantee the drop of class-specific chest armor, fusion rifles, and shotguns. So that's kind of going to be the way that this works. Let us know your thoughts about that down below. But also, according to the database, we're going to be getting some Leviathan Year 1 raid mobs back in some capacity, things like the Embraced Largesse, as well as Emperor's Blaze. Not sure how that will work, maybe there'll be raid things, but there are also Hive Armaments, the Hive Barrier, Hive Invigoration, and Repurposing, so those are the typical kind of raid mobs that you see, obviously for the new Hive raid in Crown of Sorrow. So pretty exciting stuff, guys. Let us know your thoughts about it down below. The final thing to mention would be to reiterate the Shadowkeep leak that happened earlier on, and this, of course, is for the DLC that we're going to get in the fall of this year. And as to the legitimacy of this, it absolutely is real. It actually comes from the game files, so it is literally on your console or PC right now. And it's obviously in reserve for the reveal that Bungie are doing on Thursday. But if you missed it, it reads, the next chapter in the Destiny experience arrives this fall as terrifying shadows descend upon a forgotten moon. Return to the lunar surface and journey deep into a mysterious enemy citadel. Become a Slayer of Nightmares. And it will be available for pre-purchase apparently, with a physical collector's edition. And the really cool thing is that we can see a temple on the moon. Not sure if this is a new temple, or maybe the Temple of Crota, but then the kind of broken rock with Earth and the Traveler in the background. So really cool artwork right there. And this is what is going to be revealed later on this week on Thursday. So stay tuned here on the channel, guys. But I hope you have enjoyed this quick look at some of the new loot inside of Season of Opulence. If you have, a rating below is very much appreciated. Let me know any gear that you're excited to grind out. But otherwise, thank you as always for tuning in. Have fun with the grind, and I will catch you all very soon.